Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. As always, I'm your host, RJ the Balanced Blue, Scott the Gooner, and Rob the Red Devil. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another great episode. Match week 1 of the Premier League has returned. Scott, you must be feeling pretty happy. How you doing?
Yeah, mate, look, 3 points in the bank. Not a bad week in the FPL. Hasn't been raining, so no complaints here, man. It's all smiles.
Beautiful. Rob, you're not looking so Brighton at the moment. What's going on?
Put it this way, I wasn't so keen to get up bright and early yesterday morning.
Oh, I love it. You're a good sport, Robbie. And what you were telling us about the collar situation that reflects your mood. Why don't you tell everybody what that's
I've got
about?
my new threads today, came in the mail, something to cheer me up after the disaster class. So I'm going to make it when I have my home shirt on this year. When collar's down, Robbie's got the shits. And when collar's popped, it's been a good week this week.
You know what? I love it, Robbie, because you buying that kit is helping to fund the signing of mega players like Arnautovic. So, mate, good on you.
Could be the buy of the window, Scott.
He's only number 7 in the making, man.
I reckon we should get the cameras on Ronaldo again, how he's looking at the stadium. But I tell you what, we've already got a bumper crowd here. I just want to reflect quickly. The London teams, the top end of town, were cooking. As we said, United stumbled despite their great pre-season. Haaland is here, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been a really action-packed start to the Premier League. But speaking of action-packed, the IFT couch is buzzing. Scott, who we got?
Yeah, look, let's just acknowledge some of the champions in here. Tom from the United Pubcast, he's feeling optimistic. 3 points off top. 21 is still on. Well, you know what, Tom? 21 is coming because if you put Brighton's score in front of your score, that makes 21. So, I mean, some would say 21's already come. Chelsea database in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this very soon, some of that FPL. George is back. George, nice to see you, my man. Nice to see you in the live. We've got Dylan here, my happy Gooner friend. We've got Marty from Aussie Spur TV. Chris is here. Another Chris is here. We've got all the Chris's in the house tonight. The concierge, of course, big up to the legends.
The Regista.
That Messi goal on the weekend, wow, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that soon. The Stay On Side Football Podcast, welcome. Nice to see you in here. Of course, the man, he's brave. He rocks up. 21. Win or lose, 21 or not. Mr. Borches here. Jordan Ashby's here. And, of course, Dan Chiafari. Love it. The crowd's here. Boys, let's get straight into it. It was a good weekend for London. RJ, I didn't catch all of the Chelsea game. I watched it in dribs and drabs. Give us quickly your thoughts on that match.
Yeah, sure. And just want to say a big thank you to Chelsea Database. For those that don't know, Chelsea Database, Shane Holcomb at Statman Shane and myself did a post-match reaction stream right after the match, 4:30 down here in not so late Sydney time, but it was a great episode. So check that out for the full details. The very succinct summary, the way I'd characterize it. Pretty scrappy performance from Chelsea. Like, they controlled proceedings against a very weak Everton side. I do genuinely feel sorry for Frank in that department. No Richarlison, he's gone. Dominic Calvert-Lewin injured, really working with little stocks. But they came out. They took it to Chelsea in terms of their energy, their press. They were really making it difficult for Chelsea to carve out proper, genuine opportunities. I felt the penalty, very deserved. A really messy challenge from Cucurella on Ben Chilwell, who's come back from injury. So it's good to see him back out on the pitch. And, of course, our two new signings, Koulibaly and Raheem Sterling, they were a real shining light for us in this match. I predicted for myself Koulibaly to be our player of the season, but Sterling, he looks like to be the man of the moment. So if we can get him firing and others around him, he could be a really important clog for us. But overall, a pretty disjointed performance. We did enough to grind it out and prevent Everton from having too many crystal clear chances. But Mark Cucurella as well, debut for Chelsea from Brighton, of course. And
looked good off the bench too.
He did, didn't he? Yeah. He almost got an assist for Sterling, but a fantastic block from Mikalenko. So, yeah, a 1-0 win. We haven't got a good record at Goodison Park, but just happy to get 3 points. And I think we hold the record now for the most wins on an opening day. So happy to be a Blue.
I think you look at the scoreline and I listen to the words you say, and it wouldn't have shocked Chelsea fans, I'd assume. There's that, everyone knows that your attack, and I don't think it's just a player, I think it's the way you attack needs some work. And that was one of the key concerns I kept identifying about Chelsea in pre-season. So, look, hopefully for your sake, you guys get that in gear, but it might just be little things like the odd scrappy goal or something. 3 points is 3 points. Doesn't matter how you get it. Comment here from George. If Jorginho keeps scoring penalties, will he scam people into thinking he deserves a Ballon d'Or? Oh, tell you what, let's maybe not go there, RJ.
He mustn't be happy about how his team went on the weekend, I don't think.
Oh, ouch. All right, well, you know what? Let's jump straight to that. Let's get it out of the way, put Rob out of his misery. Robbie, what the hell happened? You guys were the best preseason team. You were the preseason kings. And
Come on, mate. You're talking up a bit here.
What happened?
We were in Arsenal.
Well, look, we won our opening game, so.
I know. Look, for me, it's disappointing. It's a setback. It was disappointing, but are we all shocked? We're not shocked. As I said, you guys can clip me, go back and have a look. How many times have I said Ten Hag is not going to be a miracle maker? We're not going to take the same team as last year with a couple add-ons and automatically become this magic team that's going to be. I do think the big issue was how much we did rely on that front four in our preseason when we did look good. Anthony Martial, obviously his injury threw the big spanner in the works, and that did go down. In my opinion, Ten Hag's lineup, the experimental lineup of playing Eriksen at false nine, it didn't work. That was the big change for me. That didn't work. Time. It wasn't just that. I just thought he should have just went a little bit more simple. He should have played everything like we did in the off-season, and it should have been a like-for-like swap. Ronaldo should have come in for Martial. End of story. But we just didn't look like ourselves on pre-season at all. We didn't press. It was and if we did press, it was a half-ass press. The midfield was just, geez, man, like I said, everyone's on a clean slate. The midfield was turning the ball over more than anything. We gave him 10 minutes at the start of the match when we actually looked good, even though right off the kickoff, Brighton had an early chance. But after that, when they did score that goal, we just, again, like last year, dropped our heads. And it looked like a hill to climb 1-0. So when we went 2-0 down at halftime, I said, geez, I think this will be a miracle if we even get a point from this game. And look, it's just when you've been in the off-season, you do see positivity and you do see a bit of a different system. And then, you're waiting for the first game of the season at home, packed Old Trafford. To lose, like that, when you see all the top four teams nearly besides Liverpool get the points, that's what hurt the most. But like I said, it's a long season. It's week one. We've got a long way to go, mate. It's a marathon.
You know what, though? Earlier on, you said, was anyone really surprised? I'm going to be brutally honest. I actually genuinely was surprised because I thought you were going to win the game. Like, I look at those two squads now, and this is credit. I guess I'm putting more praise on Graham Potter and Brighton than I am taking the mick out of you.
They were class. They were very good.
They've lost Cucurella and Bissouma, two top pivotal players in their team and their system, probably that you would say they're two best, and they still went and got a result. Respect needs to be put on Potter's name.
Look, 100%. They deserve the win, but again, you have to put it into perspective. We've been talking of Potter for a couple of years now. This Brighton team, yes, they're weakened from those two teams, but they've still played together. Yeah. They beat us 4-0 2 months ago. So, it's not like it wasn't a shocking result. This is the first time, obviously, they've got to win at Old Trafford. And I said, it's the opening game of the season. If you ask most United fans, we had more optimism than we had confidence in winning the game. Obviously, after we had the off-season. Look, I think next week, hopefully Martial comes back in. Look, it could have been a little bit of a push for the Glazers to maybe get a little bit more transfer business. If it's the right people or not that come in is another story. But it's week one, man. Like I said, I'm not going to overreact. Some people already gone crazy, like Twitter warriors, get him out, do this, do that. This person's shit, this person's crap. Just relax, man. We're, half of us already said this is a big transition time for us. And look, it's like Arsenal fans have been on the ride for 4 years. It's trust the process, man. We're going to have to do it. You said sit back, take a break, and trust the process, as you say.
That's it, man. And look, This is going to test your fan base. Like it's going to be a challenge. And I guess you hear about potential signings like Rabiot and you hear Arnautovic. I want to come to you though, RJ, as a Chelsea fan, right? That United are rivals to both our teams. I guess that's why we take so much pleasure in them not getting 3 points, because they're a big club, probably the world's biggest. When you hear about those signings, do you think those guys could make a big difference to United, RJ, or are you shocked that they're heavily linked?
No, I'm not shocked, but again, it's consistent with just how much of a shambolic run club they are, that the transfer strategy seems questionable at best. So I'm not surprised. These are, like Mr. Chris has said, they represent panic buys, in my opinion, because no one's saying they weren't quality talent. Arnautovic is Premier League proven. We've seen what Rabiot has done, but we also know the personality issues he has. It just, to me, doesn't scream like a long-term buy. It seems like a Band-Aid type of flick pass solution. So I think it's a very strange thing.
Especially
I'm not
the
surprised.
Arnautovic one. The Arnautovic one,
exactly.
It's very much like when we bring Igalo in that time, even Cavani when he came in. Look, Cavani was a good buy for us. Even Igalo, to be honest, he done his job at the time. That was a very random one. It came from China, very similar to like Arnautovic. And look, that's not over the line yet either. Obviously, I think these are, as soon as we've had this loss, within 24 hours, we've had these 2 new links straight away. So, look, that could happen, that could not happen, but I do think it's a bit of a, again, knee-jerk situation.
All right, well, look, let's move on then. Let's move on, because I want to talk about my team. 3 points in the bank. The first half an hour, and this makes me, look, I'm excited about it, but a little bit nervous too, because Arsenal have shown, particularly last season, that we're very capable of smashing patches of games. And that first half an hour, we were absolutely dominant. Like all the possession, attacking chances, Jesus dribbling through players for fun. Everything started really, really positive. We got the goal. My man Martinelli, popped up in the right place at the right time. And Palace weren't really in the game. They came out in the second half, and our press and intensity seemed to die a little bit. And then Palace started to slowly work their way into that game. You could see how much Palace missed Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher, I remember watching this Palace game last season, and Gallagher was so dominant. He was certainly missed. So, look, Vieira's doing the best he can with that team, but for me, there were certainly positives. There were plenty of positives. Saka was really good. Ødegaard a little bit quiet for me. I've got a interesting relationship with Mr. Ødegaard. It's love-hate at times, but I have no doubt he'll come good. So, quiet start. But as you said, Robbie, we're 1 game in. And for me, my attitude was, let's just come out of it with 3 points. Okay, evening, Paul. We got Paul from the Tomb Review here too. Love to see it. But 3 points is what you wanted. And I'm happy we banked that. I'm sure RJ's happy. Chelsea did. And look, I'm sure for you guys, you're only going to get stronger as the season goes on, Robbie. There's no doubt.
Look, just quickly on that. I was talking to RJ before the stream. Like I said, just to use you guys as an example, last year, 3 games gone, zero goals, 0 wins, -9. And you guys literally just missed out on top 4. So, and everyone rode you off after the first international break. So, look, I'm not saying that's going to happen with us, but it just goes to show. And we've seen last year how much of a roller coaster the Premier League is. So, a long road to go.
That's it.
That's a good point. I was wanting to get your view on this, because Arsenal, bravo, played well, deserved the win. That's what you expect, because they've been strong, bought well, and they look like a team to be recognised and respected. So credit to them. But flipping the script to ex-Arsenal legend, coach, manager, Vieira, got lots of praise last season, done well. Big part of that, Conor Gallagher, as you said, player of the season, ex-Chelsea player, Mark Gay at the back, unfortunate OG. Keen to see how he goes this season, because obviously Palace not the strongest team, overperformed in my opinion last season. Definitely. It'll be quite interesting to see how he does handle life without one player. It's only one player, Gallagher, and they did lose to a good Arsenal team. But just as an interesting thought, how does he handle the second season now after setting the expectations very high this last season? So just something to watch.
Look, it's not panic stations for them. I think it's still so early. Nah. I mean, I don't see them anywhere near that relegation fight. But someone who I thought was going to be in that relegation fight was Fulham. Now, in our last show, in our preview, one of my players to watch was Mitrovic. I called Mitrovic and I said he's had a few stints up in the Premier League and it just hasn't quite materialised the way it has in the Championship. And wow, a double on opening day against Liverpool. God, you couldn't really ask for much more than that as a player. I mean, broke my heart FPL-wise because I was this close to putting him in, but I thought, nah. I've done this about 5 or 6 times when he's been in the league and he's always lets me down. And in the end, dry pitch, wet pitch, call it what you want, disappointment for Liverpool. RJ, quickly give us some thoughts.
Yeah, just a dry performance from the Reds, unfortunately. But the reality is Mitrovic is the second best Mitrovic we know personally. But in all seriousness, I think Fulham played with that much sort of charisma and courage to take it to Liverpool, and they did a lot of off-the-ball work, which doesn't get appreciated enough to really not allow Liverpool to settle into their rhythm and dominate as they used to being. 99% of the teams they play are very pragmatic, very scared to take them head-to-head because you know how dangerous they can be. But they look genuinely shell-shocked. Reds, I was watching it closely, I just thought for sure they're going to get smashed, Fulham. But yeah, from the outset, they were the better team and they should feel aggrieved to not walk away with all 3 points. But credit to Fulham because I had them going down. And I know it's only one game and I put a tweet out saying that. But based on that very small sample size, fantastic start. So credit to them.
100%. Robbie, let's cross to the other contenders. Your Manchester rivals, even though you guys hate Liverpool more. But City, Haaland with the double. Good start for them against West Ham. Talk to me. What did you make of it?
Yes, he's hit the ground running. City's hit the ground running. A game which I thought a possible banana skin for City. I did have him still to win, but I thought it would be a little bit more closer, especially away opening game of the season. And like I said, the big question marks on Haaland after what everyone saw at the Charity Shield. But look, mate, just a champion result and a champion performance kind of thing. And he really shut the haters up in the first week. He looks unstoppable. When a lot of people have said calling for 30 goals. If City play like that, with De Bruyne, that's defense splitting pass. Looks like he's going to be on pens this year, which again I didn't think that was going to happen. He looks hungry. This guy. He looks like he wants to shut up and he wants to win with City. Look, I don't think there's much more to go into, mate. City win. They look like they're gonna. We all know what they're like, mate. There's the well-oiled machine, and I think they're gonna go for the 3-peat again this year.
I like that you said well-oiled machine because there's a lot of oil money there as well. I mean, he stung me FPL-wise because I listened to you, Robbie. You put your point out so well in our last show that I was like, you know what? Rob has a bloody good point. Why am I taking Haaland in against West Ham when it's Harry Kane? They've got an easy start. So I subbed out Haaland for Harry Kane, who
rookie era.
He doesn't score in August. He doesn't score in August, man. And
he scores in August. I've already what did I say as well? I said straight away that was my next transfer. After that game, I put Haaland straight in. I had that planned all along.
Me too.
And I hope anyone who done it, I hope they got in before the little price rise. Because if you're always going to do it before he's gone up. That one little million makes a big difference.
Well, I think, Rob, I'm blaming you because you were so smart, I thought, but not anymore. But
look,
anyone
mate.
If you traded out Haaland and you took Rob's advice like I did, I'm giving you a massive L in FPL for the last game week. That was a big loss for many people, and lots of people didn't take him and regretted it quickly. RJ, you have any FPL regrets after game week 1?
No,
you did really well.
I took him in. Yeah, I believe I'm on top. So for us anyway. So I'm happy.
No, you're not on top. You're in 5th.
Of you guys, I'm
saying.
Oh,
instead of us.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So I'm way on top of you guys. Nah, just kidding. Look, I'm pretty happy with who I got, man. I suppose midfield-wise could have been a bit better. Mason Mount didn't have his best game, and that hurt us a little bit. Reece James as well, a bit off the pace. But you know what? Just on Liverpool and Mitrovic, that's another example where Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, defensively, has shown that he is not the world-class standard that he is in terms of the attacking phase, because he's redefined the role of an attacking fullback. It's just not another good look when he gets found out with these kind of instances. So another interesting thing to keep an eye out on this season for him.
And we are going to give Christian what he wants. Christian wants his shout out. He's currently top of the IFT podcast FPL League on 80 points. He's got Jack Moore behind him on 79 and Lottie. Lottie's on 76, tied with George. And then you've got RJ in 5th place. So well done to the top 5 at the moment.
Well
I'm
like
in
Tottenham. See how long you can stay at the top.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have to see. And I mean, look, for Spurs quickly, because we're not going to go through every single result, but it would be remiss of us to not touch on Spurs. A good result for them. They'd have to be very happy with that. 4-1 against Southampton. Shaky start, but lots of goals coming in. Son, for me, was magnificent. They just looked really good.
He was the man of the match in that game, honestly. And look, just on the FPL front, when Spurs score 4 and Harry Kane's not on the list, you know that they're playing good football, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. And Spurs, 3 points, that's all you want to do. An update on the tipping. RJ's on 6, Robbie's on 7, I'm on 4. Shock. Every time Daniel adds them up, I'm always on the bottom. It's not me, I'm blaming Daniel. But he's
blaming everyone tonight, mate. Blaming everybody. I love it.
I'm playing the blame game. Here we go from Matthew. Only time Mr. Chris will say he was on top. Up the Brighton. Love that. Welcome back, Matthew. And Kulisexy. Okay. Oh, God. You con me into saying that live, Marty. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Were there any other results quickly, boys? And again, we're not going to go too deep on the other ones, but were there any other results that stood out for you that you wanted to give a quick mention to? We might go with you first, RJ.
Oh, I had my hand up first.
Oh, you go first. I did have my finger up, but
He
let me
put his hand
go
up first.
He's looking Brighton. You go first, Rob.
Now, look, quick one. I think it was very that Bournemouth win against Villa. I did not have that 2-0 as well. You know, everyone's talking up. You know, Stevie G, mate, could be under the pump and could be under a bit of pressure really early on. I did not have Bournemouth doing them 2-0. So, that was just I will just quick fire that one.
Yep.
That's what I was going to say, because Aston Villa, and actually based on our Football Capital chat, Big Kev called out Stevie G. Actually, just wanted to shout him out.
You mean Slippy G?
Well, depends what you want to call him. But the Optus Sport, the stat, Gary Neville, 28, 110, drew on 7, lost 11, 35%. Steven Gerrard, up-and-coming great manager, win percentage, 35% as well. So we like to give certain English managers here a bit of slack every now and then. Mr. Gerrard, not so great in a much better team personnel-wise. So interesting to see what happens with Gerrard this season. A lot of pressure on him.
Look, for me, I just want to give a quick shout-out to Newcastle. I know we've got a lot of Newcastle fans who tune into the show. Obviously, Paul, good friend of ours. A nice 2-0 win for them against Nottingham Forest. They didn't go and make the blockbuster signings. Well, they haven't yet that I was expecting. But what we do know they have is a good manager. They finished the season with excellent form. And look, they started with a nice, comfortable win. So big ups to Newcastle on a very, very comfortable 2-0 win against Forest. Yes, that goal by Shah. Woo. Tell you what, that was a very, very impressive goal. And we got Matt Zevio Genius in here. Good evening. Okay, we've talked FPL. We've looked at some of those things. But, boys, I want to ask you about something that I saw in a different league, something from the La Liga. Braithwaite, I don't know if you guys saw that footage. Now, they can't register a lot of these shiny new players that they've signed over at Barcelona because their finances are in the mud. They're begging Braithwaite to go. He doesn't want to walk away unless he gets properly paid out. He was booed when he came onto the pitch. I can't remember who they were playing, but he was booed by the whole crowd. Where do they get off booing a player that they've signed who's done nothing wrong, but he doesn't want to leave? What do you think of that, Robbie? That's not a football thing, mate.
I took the words out of my mouth. Not a football thing, mate. Look, they're greedy, mate. Obviously, shiny new toys that come, they want maybe the less shiny toys to move just to make way for the new ones. So yeah, look, mate, I would love to see how. I think it's this weekend they actually have their official opening of the season. And at this moment, I think there's about 3 or 4 players that can't be registered. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously as United and Chelsea who are interested in De Jong, is going to see if he actually gets a start. Apparently the other week, the other day, he had his last friendly game, come off the bench, he scored a goal, but yeah, he didn't look very happy. And now apparently, I think Austin yesterday broke a story that there could be, like legals coming into this with the whole Barcelona and Frankie De Jong thing. So I still think there's a bit of a soap saga to continue with that.
Yeah, look, RJ, do you have any comments on that? Because the way they booed him, and I read some comments under the video where a bunch of Barca fans were saying he has a big money offer from Saudi Arabia. He should just take that. They're going to pay him more. But you know what? Maybe he doesn't want to leave La Liga to go and play in the Saudi Arabian League. Maybe that's just not what he wants to do.
They're just a gift that keeps on giving. They're such a strange football institution. Like, it's just funny, the whole thing where they can buy all these players, yet they don't pay this guy all his wages. Like, what kind of Mickey Mouse setup is this? Like, it just makes you laugh, man. I appreciate the world where you buy a player, they play for your club, you pay them, you sell them, you can register new ones you buy. Like, it's just, there's more levers than a hardware store. That's the problem with Barcelona. Like, it's a basket case, mate. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. And look, again, this comment from Matthew sums it up beautifully. They signed Brathwaite, and the team they signed him from, and they signed him late, got relegated. Like, Barcelona aren't winning any fans. I've never liked them, to be fair, but I'm liking them even less and less these days. Tell you what, they're getting into Spurs territory. They're not quite there yet, but they're getting there. And who is worse run? This is a good one. This is our quickfire. United or Barca? I'm going to go with United because at least Barca get the players. They just can't register them. Boys?
No comment.
I'll go Barcelona because they just set the benchmark for idiocy, in my opinion.
Oh, dear. Okay. Boys, is there anything else you wanted to cover that I've missed so far?
For me, I just want to say awesome goal from one of my favorites, Messi. Great overhead kick. Respect the opposition who they're playing, but the technique was there. Great work from him. So
it was a great goal.
I thought I'd give him a shout out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff for PSG. They were cooking. At the moment. Good start for them. You had a couple of round-related quick fires, RJ.
Very quickly, and keen to get the live chat's view on this as well. And for those watching after the fact, my first of the 2 questions is goal of the round. Also, your favorite moment of the round. And it can be the same, but try to be a little bit creative here.
I'll go first because Mr. Chris has taken my goal of the round. He took the words out of my mouth. That Newcastle goal, I think, was goal of the round for me.
That's me. Guilty. That's me too. That goal's unreal.
I was going to say Jorginho's penalty, but I better not be a bit biased. No, that was a wonder goal. Got to take your hat off to that.
You got to love a goal.
Moment of the round.
For me, I'll start.
Oh, yeah, you go first, Paul. Yeah, go first. Yeah.
Obviously, we kicked off the league season, so the first match. It's always exciting to see who the first goal is, and just that relief, like because I knew no one wants to not win the first match, yeah. And when Martinelli put that header in, even though it was an ugly goal, like it wasn't a nice goal at all, but that goal from Martinelli just to kick off the season with a goal at Selhurst Park. And it was Martinelli as well, who I'd gone into bat for in a couple of other streams. And it was just a top feeling for me as a Gooner. Top feeling.
Pretty cool, Robbie.
Yeah, look, I'll put this comment up because great minds think alike. Hold on. Where is it? The George one. He's literally took the words out of my mouth. So the goal he's got this and the 2-2 draw with Fulham, I really thought that was an entertaining game from Fulham and I didn't expect it. And Liverpool dropping points in the first round is always a great moment for me anyway.
And we got a few in the chat as well. Goal of the round, Shah. Moment of the round, the Saliba debut. Whew, what a debut. How did I not mention him?
How did you guys have him on loan for like the past 3 years in the French league?
You know what? you've set me off now. You get so many of our fan base coming out and saying, oh, look, see, it was a masterstroke to loan him out, this, that. He was Marseille's player of the season last season. He was unreal. He was bossing it. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't a genius loan. Maybe he was ready to do this last season as well. I mean, it depends how you want to look at it. People in our fan base love to cling to anything positive they can, but mate, I was confident Saliba could come in and play really well last season. But it's hard to argue that the loan hasn't been good. He's come back. He looked mature. He looked confident. So can't ask for a much better debut. Before we go to RJ and look at some more of these in the comments, I want you to make sure you do one thing, and that's smash that like button. If you haven't already subbed, please do that as well. We're on the way to our next mini milestone of 700 subs. Only 26 away, but who's counting? RJ, let's get your moment, then we'll look at a couple more from the live chat.
Yeah, sure. I got to say that opening goal from Mitrovic, that bullet header, I thought that was just fantastic, and see the crowd go wild because it's just a fantastically worked goal given the context. And just as well, goal of the round we know was Tushar, but Ward-Prowse's hit was very nice as well. I wanted to call that out. Didn't obviously go too well for them, but great goal.
Very good. Let's look at a couple more from the chat. Then we're going to move to some quick fires unless the boys have anything else they wanted to cover. I know about this one, Christian. Let's move on. We've got Geordie here saying Mitrovic turning Virgil van Dijk. It's funny how these United fans work, isn't it, RJ? I mean, they don't want to talk about their team's misfortune. They want to kind of skip through that really
You said moment of the round, not depressing moment of the round.
Yeah.
What do you want us to say?
But still look at it. But we'll talk about Liverpool's misfortune, won't we? We'll talk about them. Look, even you've got Daniel doing it. This was funny. It was our first Klopp whinge of the season. Got it straight away. The pitch was dry. Tell you what. All right, boys. Have we got some quick fires for this evening?
I don't, boys. I don't have one tonight. For
You're terrible. Lucky I'm organised and I've got some here on my phone. All right. I would love you guys in the live chat to let us know as well. This is my first thing. It's a yeah, nah. I haven't done one of these in a while. I was having a debate with a friend at work who was telling me that when they play like sports or games or activities with their kid who's 5, they let him win. They let him win all the time. Letting kids win, yeah, nah.
Nah. You got up me on the weekend when we were at one of our mates' house. We were playing soccer in the backyard, and you're like, Rob, 2-foot him.
100% go to 2 feet, mate. He's got to learn.
RJ?
I
think there's a bigger picture element, mate. Depends. My son, but it all goes crazy, mate. They're all winners. They're all competitive. I'm a winner at heart, but I also like my sleep and not getting bashed. So I'll go depending. Yes, I'll say yeah for the context.
This is why I love our community. Look at all these nars. I love you guys. I love every single one of you. It's a no, mate. It's a no. You know what? In life, you don't always win. Not everyone's got my looks, Rob's talent, your hairline. Not everyone's going to be blessed all the time. You've got to
your
learn
Champions League trophy cabinet. That's it, definitely.
I mean, I was just having a friendly joke.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, were you?
Anyway. Let's move on. I've got another one for you boys. What was your favorite toy as a kid? Like, what was the one thing that you took with you everywhere?
Oh, can it be like a teddy bear or something as well? If it was a
kid?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a teddy bear like from day one when I was born. I actually still got it somewhere. Like, I guess it's a little family heirloom now. Since day one, so I always had this particular teddy kind of thing. So yeah, I'll say that because I still got it.
Okay, for me, it was probably, I don't know if you guys remember, you'd remember Digimon, the little Digivice Tamagotchi that you used to show. Man, I used to take that thing everywhere. I used to take it everywhere with me. I love that toy. What about you, RJ?
Show us your pocket. I bet you still got it on you now.
I've actually, mate, if anyone ever breaks into my house, they better not go into my bedside table because it's in there. I was going to give it to my son one morning.
They're so good. I used to love when you go together, you'd connect the Digimons, you'd go over in your little packs, and it'd be 1, 2, who wins the third one, and it got pretty ugly at times, I've got to say. For me, it's the old Game Boy. I used to take that everywhere.
Oh,
Tetris,
Game
then
Boy.
it went to Pokemon, all of that stuff. Always the Game Boy for me.
Fair shout. All right. I am a regular. Like on my way to work, I need to stop and get a coffee. It's part of my morning routine. I normally grab a bite to eat with my coffee. If you're grabbing a coffee on your way to work, what's your thing that you'll grab from the cafe to go and munch on when you get to work if you miss brekkie?
Oh, it has to be bacon egg roll. That's an easy one.
Oh yeah, good shout. What about you?
If I'm
shout,
late,
actually.
if you're late, yeah, good sausage roll in the morning goes down all right as well.
Nice and warm. I don't mind the old PB toast or even a bit of ham and cheese toasty. Love them. Classic.
Yeah, look, I'm like Robbie, man. I'm a bacon and egg roll, man, with cheese and barbecue sauce on it too. A couple of good shouts
Classic,
coming.
yeah.
Yeah, banana bread, not bad if you've had breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yummy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here we go. A couple more coming in. All right, I've got one more for you boys. Spotify was working its magic the other day when I was driving home from work, and Eminem ended up on some Eminem playlist. Name one Eminem banger that you're a massive fan of.
Oh, he's got
So
some good
many.
ones.
Pick one.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell
Ten
a
Hag
friend.
back.
That one.
Brighton's
Ten
back.
Ten's back. United's back. I'll go for attitude. Depends on the mood, but I'll go with cleaning out my closet.
Yeah, all right. Very good, very good. Look, you know what? It wasn't just, it's not just Eminem, but the D12 song came on my band, and I was
so good.
pissing myself laughing the whole way home. I think I repeated it about 4 times. Tell you what, I was just pissing myself laughing the whole way home. Couple of good shouts in here. We got Superman, Lose Yourself, Real Slim Shady, please stand up. Boys, what a world we live in when I'm the only one with Quickfires. Wow.
I think
You
that's
two.
my first time about it. I just couldn't think of any tonight.
I had
I'll make
a
sure-
quick fire. What are you
I'll
talking
make
about?
sure Thursday
Had two
I'm
of them.
sweet.
What was yours?
My quick
The
fires were
football-
football related. Geez, it's a football thing, and you're banging me out for not having quick fires that are non-football related. I tell you what.
I'll
tell you what.
treat you like I treat my kid. I'll let you win. Okay.
Here we go.
We will be back again on Thursday evening. And just checking this comment from Tom before we talk about Thursday evening show, RJ. If you didn't get a chance before the first kickoff for Manchester United, Tom and Robbie did a video on the channel. And I know they talked about, a couple of club-specific things, the lineup, their thoughts. Go back and watch that, enjoy their optimism, and then have a giggle at the end knowing that they lost the match anyway. But I'm sure knowing you two, you were very balanced. And we have been trying to do some of the club-specific shows. It's just about time and balance. So Thursday night show at 8:30 p.m. RJ, you want to tell everyone about that before we finish up?
I do. Thank you, Scott. So we are proud to be joined by a Brighton content creator. I wanted to get him on tonight in light of the developments over the weekend.
Of all weeks, I've seen
What
this.
a
show
shame.
last
We
week and
said,
dropped
look,
this.
let's get him on for a Thursday night and get him involved in the predictions process. He's a bright young content creator, and I've heard him on a couple of different shows. So yeah, we'll do some promos. So make sure you tune in to get some Brighton perspective. So as you know, we try to bring people from other clubs to get a bit of an insight into how they see their club as well as how they see our ones as well. So look forward to that one.
And we're cooking up something really nice for you guys the following week as well. We can't drop anything about that, but cooking away quite nicely. I hope I haven't messed up my dates. And it'll be nice to hear from a Brighton content creator. It's a new perspective. We're often talking about the big clubs, but it would be nice to hear how someone in their fan base looks at their process, their squad, their manager. So I'm really looking forward to that. Robbie, anything you wanted to say before we wrap up, my man?
No, look, I actually enjoyed that. Even though coming off the back of a loss, it was a good show to come back into. First review of the season. And I'm already looking forward to I'm already feeling bright about Thursday night. What can I say?
That's it. RJ, any closing thoughts?
Great to be back. 3 points, and let's get the season underway, as they say.
That's it. And from me, good night. Be kind to each other. Stay out of trouble. And for the love of God, don't let your kids win at anything. Good night.
Good night.